Hey guys, I'm out here in Vegas, getting ready to play a football game this weekend, and I wanted to talk about the sexualization of female athletes. And so I've got some other fellow athletes here, so I just wanted to introduce them and talk about what our experiences have been like being a football player. So introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Holly from Seattle.
And what position?
Middle linebacker.
I'm Sarah from Utah. I played for 6 years.
Just what position?
And I play cornerback.
All right.
I am Quinn Wesley, and I play center.
What team?
For the Utah Falcons.
Elisa Salazar, Utah Falcons, wide receiver and DB.
Perfect. Okay, so what have your experiences been like?
But one of the first things that you'll notice as a female football player is when you tell people you play women's tackle football, a lot of times they come up with, wait, are you talking about flag? Wait, you mean powder puff? Soccer? What? Wait, you mean lingerie? The one with the lingerie, right? So you have to, prove that we can play as female athletes just as hard as the men can with women's tackle football. And the other thing that I've noticed is when male athletes are really good and the media is talking about them, their attractiveness is always a second thought. Their ability is the first thing that people look at. Female athletes, a lot of times the media will say, oh, she's cute. Oh, did you see her, in that model shoot that she did the other day? And so it's all about appearance first, ability second. And so we as female athletes are trying to do our darnest to switch that and make it so people are seeing us for our abilities over everything.
Perfect.
Yeah, my experience is when I'm talking about football, especially with my experience of being in the game for such a long time, that they almost are surprised by my knowledge of speaking about the field, about different coverages, different techniques, and most people I talk to are kind of surprised. And honestly, a lot of the guys I talk to when I'm talking football, I have a little bit more knowledge and experience than them. But just because I'm female, it's kind of hard to break that perspective that females are as knowledgeable about football in that realm.
And what kind of spread offense do we got?
Our spread offense?
Or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
I play defense.
We run the triple option. So same as Air Force, Navy, Georgia Tech. Army as well. Army as well.
I guess I'd have to say, besides all the other stuff that we run into, a lot of the things are finding clothes that fit you for football. So the pants aren't made for you for football. The jersey's not made for you. The helmets aren't made for you. This is a man's helmet, which fits me but would not fit her. So she has to use a youth helmet. And when using that youth helmet, it's not tested for the hits that we do. It's tested for as if a youth boy were to be playing instead of a grown woman. And so you run into problems with that safety-wise.
And along those same lines, other equipment that's very difficult to find to fit correctly are shoulder pads, for one. Our bodies are shaped differently than men's, and it's hard to find shoulder pads that don't ride up because the front of ours tend to want to stick out because we have different body parts, or our body parts are a little bit different. And then that causes this area right here to choke and pinch your neck. There's one company that did modify it a little bit, but they could still...
It could still be done differently.
Work on that a little bit more. And
it's a little bulky.
Yeah.
And cleats are very difficult to find because a lot of us are in between youth size or men's size. And you may be thinking that, oh, it's because there's no market for this type of equipment. There's not enough. There are a lot of women football players.
How many?
Football has been around for almost 20 years now.
Over 20 years.
Over 20 years. And there's, how many teams would you say about?
There's probably 70 teams. You're probably talking around 5,000 to 6,000 players every year easily. And that's not including flag. That's not including all the various different types of football. That's just women's tackle football.
And they play it in other countries too. It's not just something here in the United States. A lot of countries have it, so you got to include those women too who are also looking for gear to fit them, and for people to realize that they know what they're talking about when it comes to American football.
Okay, so yeah, we will be playing this Saturday at 9 o'clock in the morning. It will be live stream. Go to the Utah Falcons page, which you can look on our page and get other resources. You can look at what other women's football teams are doing for the positivity that we're trying to send out there for other women athletes and also for young girls. So look into the Utah Falcons, look into the Seattle Majestics, and then also look into the Utah Tackle Football League, which is for the little girls. Bye. Wish us luck.